Hello, everybody. Happy Friday night. Welcome back to Moncomics. My name is Brandon, and you are watching the Moncomics Big Five Live, a monthly show, the 21st of its kind, where I search out people I found on YouTube and ask them to come on the show. And I ask a very simple question. I ask them to bring 5 books to show and talk about, to get to know them, get to know what their channels are about, and just have a great time. Welcome to the Non-Heroes Con show, folks. This is everyone here is not fortunate enough to be down there, but we send our love to everyone down there. Stay safe and have fun and spend all the monies. I've already seen some cool stuff people picked up. But I'm going to bring these folks out on stage, one by one or team by team, because we do have a team tonight, and let the audience meet them. And we will be doing a giveaway tonight. I got some books to give away, so hang tight. We'll probably do that like halfway through the stream. So my first guest was one of the first guests on Big Five Live. My buddy Gavin from Obito Comics. We found Gavin, like a bunch of us YouTubers, and we were like, this kid's picking up Silver Age books. He's picking up the good stuff. And we were like, how old are you, dude? And he's like 16. And we were like, we must protect this kid at all costs. We got to make sure he is the future of comics. How have you been, dude?
I've been doing good. Life's been moving real fast. I have possibly the most beautiful woman in the world to call my own. We're gonna, I got my own little music career I'm starting now, and I'm still very much in love with Green Lantern. So everything's doing good.
Congratulations, dude, on all the starting the band, getting engaged. You're making huge life moves, and it's great to have you back on YouTube, dude, because like you were like part of our core a group of friends that came up on here. And will your mom be making some appearances in the videos? Because I remember she was pretty big into the comics.
Possibly, yeah. She's picked up some random things nobody has heard about because that's all she likes. So maybe.
I think it's an age thing, but yes, congrats on everything. So thank you for making time and coming and hanging out with me tonight. Like I really appreciate it. As soon as Bigby told me you're back, I was like, we got to get him back on the Big Five Live. So thank you for coming. This next gentleman I found through Mike of Lunch Money Comics. David from Marc Spector Comics. I was watching one of Mike's videos back in the day, and they were at the same show and checked out his content. He likes a lot of the same stuff I do. What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me on. Yeah, that was at a local CliffsCon at the I forget where it was, down in Connecticut. They host it monthly over there, and I think the last Sunday or something like that of the month. Yeah, it's a great show. You meet a lot of good people locally in the community, so it's always fun meeting people in the community and hanging out and pick their brains and see what they collect. So it's been fun.
How long have you been doing YouTube for?
Good question. I started a little before COVID. I want to say probably early to mid 2019 or 2018, something like that. So I've been on YouTube for a while.
I was going to say, I was looking at how old your channel was. I think I saw like 5 or 6 years old. And I was like, wow, this guy is the elder of the YouTube game. And so you've been doing it for that long. You still have the passion for it. You still love doing it.
Yeah, I still try to find time for it. Sometimes there's lulls in between content, but I'm still on there, still trying to do stuff when I can.
I think that's one thing as a creator, you have to you get so used to wanting to appease the algorithm and do well with your channel and stuff. And like when I took like a couple weeks off and the algorithm got mad. And but I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm doing life stuff. Like at the end of the day, I can always talk with other creators, and like you just kind of like gotta set that aside, and just be like, I'll do it when I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, the last two guys, creative duo, relatively new channel. Besides subbing up Marc Spector Comics and Obito, go check these guys out. Formerly of the Codex Comic Station, tongue twister, Wes and Tim, who are now Comic Evolution. Guys, welcome back. Your second time on the Big Five Live.
Yeah, great to be back.
Tell me about the idea for Comic Evolution, please. Tell the listeners.
Well, we were part of the Codex Station for quite a long time, but with Wes and I, life things, like Mark, with you, life things got in the way. Brandon, same thing, just kind of got to be more than what we could give Codex. So we both kind of collectively took a break and a hiatus that turned into this Comic Evolution. I mean, it's something that Wes and I really love to do. We're kind of going at our own pace right now. We've got some pretty awesome content on there, and it's really awesome. It's really great.
No, it's great to have you guys back. And yeah, as long if big channels end up splitting off and stuff, as long as people still are doing what they love, and yeah, like life, you just can't. You got to learn how to put. Like, it was very hard for me to first learn how to put YouTube on the back burner.
Richard, I see you in there, buddy.
You have so much fun with it, You're like, okay, there's other important stuff. But yeah, speaking of Richard, Super Mod, Richard Westfall. Happy Friday for those of you at Heroes Con.
That man lives on YouTube.
Hope you're all having fun. Please hit that like button and sub all
He's
these.
like the ultimate super fan. He's awesome.
Dude, he's everywhere. Him and JSS Brooklyn, you'll find everywhere. Derek of Uncanny Comics, what's going on? Yusa from Finland. We have our international quota filled tonight from Finland.
Nice.
What's going on, buddy? Doug Bakken, the comic collector coach, relatively new to YouTuber as well. We've got Michael. What's going on, dude? Happy Friday. Thank you for stopping by. Warlord, I thank you for stopping by. That's a sweet name. Peyton Arduin. I hope I'm saying that right. Great to have you at Alive. We appreciate anyone watching.
Yeah.
So yeah, the chat kind of quick tonight. I'm glad that people showed up. This is awesome. So I've got the order down. Everyone knows the Big Five Live. I asked these guys to bring 5 books. They want to show a little more. Who cares? There's really no rules here. This isn't Vietnam. There are rules. But Obito,
there are rules, dude.
There's rules, dude. All right, Obito, can you start us off? You were on my very first Big Five Live. I heard you got some bangers lately. What do you got, dude?
I got some bangers for you. We're gonna start out a little light though.
All right,
so this
all right.
one is a little bit of a twofer and one, but I'll be quick with it. So first off, this is the Atom issue 18.
I love
Atom fan. I think he is one of the most criminally underrated DC characters, and all the Silver Age covers are just so sick coming out of the stage.
That's wonderful.
Look at this! Look at this young kid collecting Silver Age Atom. Warms your heart.
I love it.
You're gonna see some crazy stuff later on. I'm not gonna spoil nothing. But
wait.
The reason I say that it's a twofer is because I do also have this. If I can get it out of the thing, that I've had this for a while, but you'll see why I'm talking about it now. Is I've been getting the cards a little recently, and I have this Atom
nice
1992 card.
Is that from DC Cosmic Series 1?
Yes, it's that way.
Good call, Tim.
Yeah.
Nerd.
That is sick, dude. I love that you're branching up. Now, graded cards, you can say what you want about graded comics. There's always like this big, riff with people, but cards, like that's the perfect thing to grade. There's a front and a back, and everything you need to read is there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hold up. You ain't seen nothing yet. Look at this sweet frame.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's cool.
Dude.
I got this in just today. There is a guy who does custom frames on Instagram. I hit him up and I was like, hey, do you do commission? And he was like, yeah. So I had to get this done. It was only $20. And
that's very cool.
What
grade did it come back as?
PSA 9.
Nice.
That'll work.
Those are tough for those old cards, dude.
Yeah.
The centering is bad.
All day.
Obito, let me show you something, man, before you go any further. I've got 3 PSA graded cards, all under 9. And that custom frame just looks absolutely fantastic, man.
It is great. If you want, I could give you the guy's information. It's only $20 if you want to get like a custom made one. And
we'll talk in the green room after the show.
Oh yeah, awesome. I think he made this in like 30 minutes, and like he shipped it out the next morning.
Nice.
So,
holy crap! Nice. Wow, I can't believe I haven't seen those yet. But then again, I'm not totally immersed in the card world. Strong showing, Obito. I love it. Marc Spector Comics. I learned something from this guy's YouTube channel that I did not know this year about Alex Schomburg, but we'll let him tell it. We'll let him tell it later in case that book makes an appearance.
So that book will not be making an appearance, but but we could talk a little bit about Alex Schomburg after.
Yes.
I'm going to show off my most recent book, my newest book, because I'm going to just tear it back from modern age to golden age. So I'm going to show you a book that I actually picked up this year from one of my buddies in the community, Amazing Murphinator. And I'm going to show you a beautiful classic art cover here. This is Batwoman. What is this? Batgirl, issue number 23. Josh
Very nice.
Middleton cover.
Sorry about the dogs.
This was really early on when I started collecting comics. When this came out, I recently started getting into comic books. Comic books were not my initial introduction. When I started collecting in the 90s, I actually started collecting Pokemon and sports cards and stuff like that. And since we were showing some graded cards, I'll show you one of my original
Oh man.
graded cards. So this is a base set Mewtwo that my one and only graded Pokemon card in the collection. I just got back from CGC. It's came back as a CGC 8.
That's nice.
So that was something pretty cool, pretty nostalgic for me. Like I said, I grew up collecting Pokemon and sports cards, so I wanted to show that off before I got into comic books.
I feel like you went two directions at that time. You were
Yeah.
Pokemon or Magic the Gathering. Like, and I split into Magic. I could have gone Pokemon for sure too. Like, there was an allure there, but that's awesome. Those were really good first submissions. I love that back row cover. I've seen it before.
Yeah, really beautiful cover. There was a few in that series that Middleton kicked it out of the park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's awesome.
All right, so we got Wes next. Wes, what'd you bring for show and tell, buddy?
Well, I'm going to start out with a little bit of a dud, but it's not a dud to me. This is my Genesis book. This is the very first comic book I ever bought for myself, and it's a Fantastic Four 358.
Got that.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got like 7 copies of it now, but and this one's my most well loved. This is it. This one's well loved and everything. This was this came out in 1991, I think. So probably a couple years later is when I found this book in a like a bin at like an antique store that my grandmother took me to. And I didn't really read comics at the time. I had been introduced to them like through my dad, but I had never really read them. And I picked this book up and fell in love with the Fantastic Four. And this book itself is really cool. I mean, yes, it's a minor key, first power scroll or something, but inside it, what I loved about it was there is a part in there where each page tells you all the cool powers of each character and what they can do and what their limits are and how strong they can be and all that stuff. So this one I loved. That I probably read this book no less than 30 times or and then of course I started collecting from there a little bit, but yeah, that's my Genesis book. This is the one. I love this book. It's worth about $3 in near mint. This one's worth about $1. But it's my favorite book in my collection because of that.
It's a great cover too.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. It's fantastic. It's
The
fantastic.
die cut 4 in
The
there.
die cut 4.
Yeah, die cut. Yeah.
I'll never get rid of mine. Yeah, it's 90s without being 90s. There's no hologram on it. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. It's super cool. Anyway, so
I always love seeing Genesis books.
Yeah. Me too.
Tim.
Oh, hello.
Gotcha, buddy.
All right. Brandon, I remember, the last time I was here it was a Christmas episode, and I brought the comic that you used for the background.
I remember that.
So today, I remember that Predator is a really big character for you. Is that right?
Yeah, I have a problem.
Kind of.
So I brought one for you to look at and enjoy. This we did as a comic of the day, I think last week for one of our shorts, but here it is in the flesh. Aliens vs. Predator #3.
Yep, I just reread that whole series. It's wonderful.
So good. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this cover. It is a beautiful painted cover, and it is just fantastic. When Dark Horse was really, really good.
I wonder if we're ever going to see Machiko in a live action. Like,
I don't know.
I feel like they would have done it now with how many female leads they've had.
Yeah.
But it was a great, that story's my whole thing this year has just been reading like crazy, and I reread those and I was like, man, I forgot how good this was. Like,
I'm reading right now one that Wes recommended to me that I should have read a long time ago, but I never have, and that's X-Men God Loves, Man Kills.
That's on my list, dude. It's so on my list. Everyone talks
that right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that one right there.
That one right there.
So yeah, that's for you, man.
No, thanks. Makes my heart go.
Yeah, just to get you started.
Thanks for stopping by, Lewis. Maybe we'll see you in a bit, buddy. right, guys, I'm doing this is not a book club. I know it's not. It's comic club, but this is comic adjacent because it was written by a friend of mine in the community, and I think it's very important to talk about it. This is Something Awful by Ricky from All Sorts of Words.
Oh.
This is his second published book. His first one is not like this. So the story behind this, from what Ricky has told, I just got it today in the mail. I'm so pumped I could show it, and I'm going to start reading it this weekend. But a serial killer, eventually has a daughter. She grows up, he falls in love with her, and he stops his ways. Well, then when the daughter becomes older, she starts dating a boy who is a serial killer. So therein lies a crazy. Sounds very Dexterish, but I'm sure Ricky will write better than that show. So I got to ask him who his cover artist is. I really like
I'm writing this down because that sounds pretty cool.
$16 on Amazon. I paid more for trade paperbacks, and our buddy wrote this. So I'm happy to support Ricky. I'm happy to give. I've just been I have just gone to bed every night. I don't look at my phone for the last half hour. I either read a book or I read 4 comics. And
there you go.
My wife is just like, you're just like Keanu Reeves hooked into the Matrix, just sucking them down. I'm like, I've just found so much more pleasure out of reading a book than doom scrolling.
Right.
I try to watch people's YouTube like during my lunch breaks or my 15-minute breaks at work. But it's just like it can consume you forever. So shout out to Ricky, Something Awful. I can't wait to read this. So I went with a book, but it is by a comic book YouTuber.
I'm going to check that out as soon as we get off this stream because it does seem pretty cool.
Total horror. I know Ricky loves horror. I think it's going to be great.
That's wonderful.
Derek got his the other day. Yeah, Ricky writes books, man. He has another one out too. I forgot the other name of it. But yeah, check it out. So we got now. I'm actually going to start round 2, and then we'll go from there. Swinging off. This was recently gifted to me by a Codex Comic Station member, Dan Kelly.
Nice.
Dan said, hey, you didn't have this. I'm sure you didn't have it. I thought it'd be interesting books. It's Daredevil 373, The Man Without Fear.
Oh.
Look at that.
It's in the poly bag still. Says Fear and Loathing. It's got a great skull cover. Daredevil's got, if you look back at Daredevil's history, he's had some great skull covers.
Oh, yeah.
So I know nothing about this comic. Look at that, though.
Wow.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, that's cool.
Marvel Direct Marketing.
Well done, Dan.
Danbury, Connecticut. I want to open it to read it, but I also don't want to open it. You know what I'm saying? I'm opening it. I'll open it and put it in my lair. I got to read it. So thanks, Dan. This was really kind. I just got this in the mail today and always love to add to my deal. I got to find out who the cover artist is. I can't tell right off the look of it. If anyone knows who the cover artist is, feel free to
What's the issue number?
373.
All right, give me.
I got my man in the chair over there. Apparently, that's gonna look it up for me. And before we move on to the next person who's going to show the giveaway books, hashtag heroes in the chat because we are the heroes still doing YouTube while everyone's at the con. No, Nerdy Musings, what's up, dude? I'm not at the con. We are here doing YouTube. So I'm going to give away a really nice House of Secrets issue 98.
Oh, nice.
Really pretty, really good condition, really awesome trade dress. Few past the famous first Swamp Thing. I'm going to give away Little Avengers issue 270. Great namer cover.
Yeah.
How about some more DC love with the Unknown Soldier issue 236?
Oh, wow.
It's a cool book. And then because I was suggested this series, I bought the whole trade paperback and I crushed it in like a week. Issue 102, but it's part of the Planet Hulk storyline.
Such a good story.
After people told me to read this and I read it and I was like, oh, I see why people loved it. It was so good.
So good.
Like just amazing. It reminds me of some movies I've seen, but I'm not going to ruin it. So hashtag heroes, how it's being spelled. Yeah. And we'll give this away in a few minutes to someone in the chat.
When they had Superman recently in Action Comics on War World, that's exactly what that storyline reminded me of, was Planet Hulk.
Oh, so good. So good.
Oh, and Richie Acosta is the artist for that Daredevil book.
Oh, thank you. Richie Acosta, folks, in the chat. Obito, you're up next. You can see I kind of just shifted everyone down one.
Alrighty. So, you mentioned Silver Age, right? Okay, well, before we get into that, I do have to say I've been getting texts from my fiance throughout this. So hey, babe, she's watching it.
Oh, I'll give her a shout. What's her name?
Her name's Haley.
Hi, Haley. Thanks for watching the show. We appreciate you. Hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Just playing.
Got me just a click. But anyway, so I've kind of started a possibly very unhealthy goal for myself.
I'm going to support it.
Anybody who knows me knows I am probably the biggest Green Lantern fan on the planet. And I made a goal for myself to get every single issue from the Silver Age of Green Lantern graded. And issue 20 onward, I want to get a 7.5 grade or higher.
That's a hefty goal.
Yeah.
That's a goal. It's going to take a while. But, resilience. We're going to get there. And here we go. This is Green Lantern, number 46 from 1966. 7.5 white pages. Colors on this are great.
Wow.
But most notably, the Fantastic pedigree.
Yep. Did you buy that right off their website or from a live sale?
I bought it on eBay.
So go to their website. You can check their website, Gavin, and they have like all their books. I gotta believe it's cheaper than eBay. I gotta believe you can get a better deal, but I love it. Man, you're such a cool kid. You're the coolest 18-year-old I know.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I love Green Lantern as well, and that's really nice.
Is there key significance to that book?
No, other than the death of Hal Jordan. He didn't. He got teleported, obviously.
Obviously.
But no, it's just a great cover, high grade for its time.
Yeah.
And a pedigree collection. And it's a newer book. And that's issue 2 of my 7.5 or higher goal. I did have this previously, 8.5.
Wow, that's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice 12 center. That's great.
Yeah. We still got a ways to go. I think I got 5 issues out of the 75. So we're 2% of the way done. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, that's good to have
Nice.
lifelong goals that you can just chase for a while. You can always
Good thing
swing
he's
off
young.
them. Yeah. You will hit that. Yeah,
You've got time.
Yeah, you got time. You're gonna see markets rise and fall, my friend. So
Yeah.
well done, Gavin. Okay, Marc Spector Comics. What's next, dude?
All right. So we're going to go right into the Bronze Age. And this was one of the books I picked up recently via trade. And we talked a little bit about Alex Schomburg. And I traded a couple of books of my Golden Age Schomburgs for, this was one of the books, not the other book I will not be showing, but fun character from the 70s. A lot of us are pretty familiar with this character. And this is Marvel Premiere, issue number 15. First appearance of Danny Rand, Iron Fist.
That is awesome.
In an 8.5 too.
In an 8.5. Yeah,
That's a high
always
grade
loved this
for that
character.
Yeah,
I grew up in the martial arts background. I learned a little bit of karate when I was young before going into jiu-jitsu. So always found keen of collecting some of these superhero martial artist characters. So finally picked one up this year. So I'm happy to have it.
That's
great.
Do you celebrate Shang-Chi too? Do you like him?
I do like Shang-Chi. I do like Richard Dragon. There's a few of them out there that I need to still pick up, but this is the first one I added to the PC.
Nice.
Such a great cover, man. The composition of the cover always gets me.
Great cover. But who did the cover? Let's see. Gil Kane and Dick Giordano.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah. Marvel Premiere came out with so many classic characters during the entire that are now major parts of the of a Marvel.
Dude, I mean, that's been a huge first appearance list. Oh, whoops, I screwed up. Let me go Wes. Sorry, I'm keeping it in order here. Sorry, Wes, I got you. Sorry about that.
Gavin and I are going to go to battle here because I've got some Silver Age stuff coming up. So no, it's fine. So I picked books that meant something to me. They're not necessarily my best books, but they are something that means something to me, or there's something that's tied to it somehow. So this is my 2-for-1 that I'm just going to show you guys. These are 2 books, X-Men number 8 and 14.
Nice.
These were my dad's books. These were 2 of really some of the only books that survived his collection, what I call the mom effect. When he moved out and there wasn't much left. So these were some. So I sent these off to get graded. They didn't come back. Am I backwards or is that
No,
just
you
me?
look great.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay,
you're
good.
you're good.
Good. So these are very special to me. These books will never be sold. They're keys, which is even better.
Plus, yeah.
Definitely. They're not the highest grade, as you can see, a 3.0 and a 5.0, and they are both off-white. So they're not white pages, but these are probably my two favorite books that I own, simply because of who used to own them. So these will be handed down. They'll be never sold unless I'm about to end up out on the street. But yeah, those are So those are two of my top two books. So
Nice.
For Silver Age books, those are incredibly respectable grades.
Yeah, and I love that. The 5.0 especially being for the
Yeah.
first Sentinel book. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to scoff at that. So
It's
No, I
what's
hear it.
cool is your dad had those cards or those comics. Sorry. And
oh yeah.
saved them.
Oh, to hear him talk, he would the stuff that he actually used to have, and it just breaks your heart. Like, and my grandmother, his mom would just call them his funnies, and she tossed them out. He went to Vietnam, came back, they were gone.
Oh,
Or she just gave them to the neighborhood kids or tossed them out in the trash. And the things that he said were in that collection
Wow.
were just heartbreaking. Like Fantastic Four #1, ASM #1. You know, all these.
On mute now, Wes. Jeez.
I know, man. It just breaks your heart. But that's a story as old as time, right?
yeah.
So there were a few that survived, and those two were two of probably the better ones that actually survived.
Well played.
So.
Well played. I've got a Hank
Yep.
Aaron baseball card that my dad collected. So that's all
Nice, man.
He collected baseball cards. We didn't have a crazy collection, but
Yeah. And you'll
I got
keep
it.
that forever.
yeah, not going anywhere. All right. All right, Tim. I'm not messing with you this time.
Okay, no, that's fair. I understand. So this next book I'm going to show, we're going to go to the 12 Center era, and this was a book that I got in a trade when Wes and I did Smoky Mountain Collectible Showcase earlier this year.
I remember that.
Yeah. So this is Creeper #1. Take a peek at that.
Ah, nice.
I love
Great
that cover,
cover.
dude.
Yeah.
One of my favorite underused characters. Gary told me months ago when he came into the current Shazam title, and I read that and absolutely loved it. And then when I had the opportunity to get this in a trade, I could not say no. Absolutely not. Steve Ditko, man, this is gorgeous stuff.
And you did really well in that trade, if I remember correctly. You did. Yeah.
I got a first appearance of Ben Reilly. I got this. I got first appearance. No, it wasn't first. It was first or second Man-Thing before his own title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of cool stuff in that trade, and it was awesome. And I've only got a couple of them left. The Man-Thing's already gone.
Get it back. It's cheap.
That's fair.
Astonishing Tales 12 and 13 are so cheap still. Like, it's great. His first comic and first cover is so it's crazy to me.
Wow.
It's like the second Groot in the Incredible Hulk Annual 5. It's like $50.
Mm.
Tim, why don't you take us into round 3, brother?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's stay with 12 centers, and I'll show you something that I found while Wes and I were at a flea market in my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but the town I live in, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. There's this guy that does the flea market every Saturday here in town. He has got boxes of comic books, and we were filming content, and we were digging through, and I found this second appearance. And for the price, which I didn't pay for, I think I got it for $4 less. I could not say no. So this is a second appearance of Dead Man.
What? That's another great example right there,
Yeah. We were digging around. I saw it in there. I was like, "Whoa, look at that." Yep, I'm going to be getting
and
that
that's
one.
in really good shape too, guys. I know it's hard to tell in the video. That's probably an 8.0.
Yeah, it's pretty solid, and I did not pay the $20 price tag on there. But second appearance, first appearance is way out of my league. I can't get that, but this I can. So this is what I have.
I feel you.
So there you go.
Well done, Tim. All right, I'm gonna go into some more horror. Another YouTuber, relatively new. I think he's like a year old. Son of Crom. a gentleman that's kind of been doing a lot of community-based stuff. He does these free comic book claim sales. He loves giving books away. Sometimes he gives away some, like $30. Most are 1.5, like, but books to read or books to collect. And it's really kind of him. The only thing he asked for is like a donation for shipping. So I was at his last claim sale. I sent him, I think, $20 for shipping. And he's got a great core collection, but he loves giving books away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really kind. He's a great community member. I got The Monsters Are Coming, Beware issue 3.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Sweet cover by Rich Buckler and Joe Sinnott.
Marvel horror.
Yeah.
That color just pops off the screen.
Yeah, really good condition. Great Bronze Age. Marvel and DC, once the comic code started loosening up in the 70s, they really started either reprint. DC was a lot of original stuff. Marvel reprinted a lot of their stuff, but the colors popped on this thing. I didn't have a witch cover. I didn't have a proper witch cover with a cauldron. So I need this for the Halloween show this year. So big shout out to Son of Crom. Everyone in the chat, go check out his channel. Anyone can enter free claim sales that he does. It's great. And he does a lot of like different competitions. So please go check him out. Thank you, Son of Crom.
Richard, you're absolutely right, dude. The early DC characters, the heroes, looked more like villains and monsters than Marvel's horror.
Yeah, Deadman and Demon are great. JQ, what's going on? Welcome to the show. All right, next up I got Obito. Gavin, what's going on?
Real quick, I do want to say that Son of Crom, I was on a live stream with Bibby McFly and a few other people just hanging out, and I was talking about Green Lantern, just kind of like rambling off, and then he like left the stream and comes back. He's like, "Hey, I found all this Green Lantern stuff I have. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Well, hell yeah, man, I want that." And yeah, he really was like the nicest guy ever. This whole community is just great because. Before I was in the comic book community, I'm gonna ramble off a little here for a second.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
But before I was in the comic book community, I've never been in like a community that's been like this nice, because I was really into like video games, into like different types of TV shows. And there's just no amount of kindness that compares to this community. And I think that's a big reason why I wanted to come back, because it's like there's just like great people doing great things, talking about things they love. It's so genuine. You know what I mean?
Of all the hobbies on YouTube that you can support, whether it's baseball or Pokemon or name a hobby, like we're a very small niche, right?
Yeah.
So there's no point in being an ass. Like there's not a lot of us. Let's all get along and be nice to one another. I like that, Obito.
Okay. Anyway, time to flex. Now we got
holy crap.
Nice.
We got a Green Lantern number 50 from 1994. Beautiful 9.8, signed by Ron Mars.
That's wonderful.
I got this for like a steal of a deal. I got this for $80 on Whatnot.
Oh wow,
which is less than an unsigned copy.
$80. Wow.
$80. 80 big ones. This is the first appearance of Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern. The death of pretty much every Green Lantern. And the first appearance of Parallax.
Yeah, such a great story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, great story. People don't really like it. I love it.
I loved it. I was reading that when it was coming out.
And he's my favorite Green Lantern too.
Oh yeah. I think like the story of Hal Jordan, I know he was like, you find out later he was controlled, but like literally like him grieving so hard that he creates an entire city with people and everything out of his ring.
When I read the issue of the destruction of Coast City, two things happened. My dreams were shattered because I swore Cyborg Superman was the real Superman, and I learned he absolutely was not. And I learned that a hero with such a drastic event could change course and go hard villain.
Right on.
Yeah.
I love the story. If anybody watching hasn't read this story, first off, just read Green Lantern because it's like best thing ever. But volume 3 Green Lantern, like issue 48 onward, is genuinely the best comic you'll read. It's so fun. Ron Mars is a great storyteller.
I'm writing that down.
It's an essential 90s comic, glow in the dark.
Yep.
It does glow in the dark.
That's awesome that you have that signed.
I just realized my ring light has not been on this entire time.
You looked fine. Okay, now you look like an angel. Thanks. Now you look like crap. All right, Marc Spector, what do you got, dude?
All right, so this will be the last book before I get into the Golden Age, and Tim consequentially also mentioned this character, so it's pretty funny that this is going to be the next book I show. And I picked this up earlier this year. It was probably my big purchase of the year. I don't anticipate buying anything much more expensive than this for the year, but this is Savage Tales. Issue number 1 at a 9.0.
My lord.
And I love I love horror. I love pre-code horror. I love Bronze Age horror.
Yeah.
Big fan of Man-Thing. So it's the first appearance of Man-Thing for people who in the chat are watching that don't know.
Current Savage sort of Conan right here. But
there you go.
It's gorgeous.
And I just love that cover.
Golly.
That's awesome. And a 9.0 too. That's
yeah, it's a tough book in this grade. Yeah,
right.
Very tough book.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
And the whole reason for that book's heat, that character
Just so we
isn't
can
even
twin
on the
for
cover.
a second.
Yep.
Oh my god.
There you go. I know. It's not even.
What's the grade, Brandon?
Oh, a 4.5.
Okay.
Like it was. I waited for it to come down too.
Yeah.
Because it is a pricier book. If we can't have Man-Thing on the cover, at least a Conan epic decapitation
yeah.
by John Buscema. Come on. I love that you own that. As Rick Moranis says. As Rick Moranis said in Spaceballs, smoke if you got him, boys.
Smoke if you got him. I just watched that with my kids yesterday. They loved it.
A 9.0 in that is so tough.
It's tough. Once you start getting over 7.5, it becomes really, really tough.
Yeah.
Really what a thing of beauty. What a thing of beauty. I love that you brought that out. That's sick. That made my night. Oh, almost dropped a slab, fellas. All right, we're okay. That was awesome. Averted. Well done. Crisis averted. All right, Wes, got you on next.
All right. So when I got back into collecting about 5 years ago, I had some goals. And one of those goals was a Secret Wars number 8 in a 9.8. And I have achieved that goal about, I don't know, Tim, was that about 6 or 8 months ago?
Yeah, not somewhere too long ago.
Yeah. So this book here, I got in trade, which was awesome. I didn't pay a dime for it.
I think you got that at Rlcon, did you not? Or
no, the guy I met was at Rlcon. We met up later on. I traded what did I trade? A Spawn number 1 newsstand in a 9.8 and a couple raw Silver Age books that weren't any big deal that I kind of just threw in there. It was a straight trade, and that's what he wanted. I said, I want that. And I came home with this sucker, and I'm in love with this book.
Isn't it wonderful when you can trade books and like you only remember one book you traded because you wanted that book so bad that you didn't give a crap about the other ones?
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? I've actually did that recently with a couple books you see behind me, these slabs. I actually cannot remember what all. The only reason I can remember what I did with that particular trade is because we did content on it, so I can go back and look at the video. You guys should go check out that trade video, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, but no, this is a super. This is one of my favorite books in the collection because it was. I had a list of like 5 to 10 books that I was like, I will get this book as soon as I can, and in this grade and in this condition, because I've had a couple copies of number 8. It's that's fine. I've got 2 or 3, but they're not in 9.8 condition, and to get a 9.8 was really exciting for me. So that's why I wanted to show that book tonight.
There you go.
I think you should keep going, man. Start us off on the next round. That was
all right. I can absolutely do that. This book was on that list as well. It's a low grade, but it's mine.
Oh, yes.
Yep. I know, Brandon, you've got that book. That's right.
2.0.
2.0.
Oh, yours is a 2.0 too?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, I did get this, Tim, at Rlcon for trade.
Right. I was there.
Yep. I did not. There was no cash exchanged at all for that. Fantastic Four is my favorite superhero group of all time.
Thank
and
you.
there are tons of Fantastic Four keys that I want that I'm slowly obtaining. This one was one that, first off, it's one of my favorite covers of all time.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't go wrong with that. You just can't. And the guy was set up right across from us, and I was eyeing it all weekend.
We was looking at half of our books too.
Yeah, and when I saw at the end of that show that it had not sold, I walked over there and I said, "Hey, let's make a deal." And he said, "Okay." And he walked over to where I was, picked out some stuff. I picked out some stuff, and I came home with this. This 2.0 beauty that I'll probably never get rid of unless it's to upgrade this book. That'd be the only way I get rid of that.
It didn't sell. That's a book to me that the cover is so awesome that as long as the cover's there, whether it's a 2.0 to a 9.0, it just looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's
who cares?
I think he had it priced kind of high. I was able to wheel and deal a little bit with some trade and things like that to get it to where what I thought the fair market value was. And then that's when we made the trade. I can't remember what he was asking for it. But that might have been one of the reasons why it didn't sell.
You got a couple other books in that trade too. You got the Amazing Spider-Man with Spidey and Doc Ock on the cover.
I did. I got
Daredevil, first appearance of the Owl. You got that in that trade too.
Did I?
Yeah.
Was that one that trade too? Yeah. Yeah. I have since traded that one off.
Yeah.
I got that book like over a year and a half ago, I think. And at that point it was $500 in a 2.0, which we know isn't the case. But the thing was I traded a Crime Suspense Stories issue 9, I think. It was a pre-code horror, of course. Who's the artist I'm thinking of? Very famous pre-code gold, but it just had a skeleton on it. It wasn't like very provocative. It was just my first like foray into pre-code horror.
So like L.B. Cole?
No, it wasn't L.B. Cole.
Lee Elias? Johnny Craig?
Johnny Craig. There you go. That's it.
Nice.
That was it. And
somebody knows his horror books.
It was about 500. It was about $500 too, and we traded straight up. The guy was great about it. And I've looked at the prices since then, and both of them have come about down to where they would still be an equal trade. So
I don't know where a 2.0 is right now.
It's not 500, but it didn't feel bad about making that trade because that book, like, oh man, like it was worth both books dropped at the same cost, and I was like, whatever, and I still wouldn't care because that cover, I just wanted to have it.
Right.
And,
depending on how hot Fantastic Four is going to be, that 2.0.
No, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Do it right. Please just give us to us. I don't care if it increased the price of my book or not. Just make it good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just make it good. All right,
I'm praying that movie's going to be good.
I think you and me both, brother.
It will be.
Congrats, John.
Yeah, congrats, John. I don't know where she's congratulating, but
where she's to go on ASM Volume 1.
Okay, so I'm going to go modern. I've got 2 signature books. I'm saving the best one for last, but this one I got in a trade. Transformers, one of my favorite things. I've got the lunchbox over there, and for my birthday, I just recently got the thermos that goes along with that. Lunchbox I got from Wes, the thermos I got from a buddy of mine. But this I did in a trade with one of Wes's friends, and I think this cover is absolutely gorgeous. And the signature placement with the blue Posca pen looks fantastic. This is the John Boy variant of Transformers number 7.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, gorgeous book. I absolutely love this. I'm loving the new series too. I love the old Marvel stuff and the Dreamwave stuff and the IDW stuff, but this is actually going really, really well. But I dig the snot out of that signature.
That ink he chose was great. It does.
Blue Posca pen, can't go wrong. That looks fantastic. Yeah, and it's even got that nice little certificate right there too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Well done.
There you go.
Well done.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, I didn't pick any signed books tonight. Okay, this isn't a book club, I swear, guys. I swear. But this one, this one again, very more comic book adjacent than before. Have you guys now, Gavin? I know you haven't seen it, but the rest of you probably have, or at least heard of it. Silver Bullet,
the movie.
Yep.
The short story by Stephen King.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
The Silver Bullet was a werewolf movie from the 80s. Corey Haim is the lead, and Gary Busey's in it, and it's got a really cool like twist within it. So I had never read the novel, so I picked up Stephen King's Cycle of the Werewolf.
Nice.
But what's great about this is that Bernie Wrightson did the art inside. They collabed up. It's not very big. It wasn't expensive either, but classic Bernie
Ooh.
Wrightson doing werewolves.
Nice.
Heck
Look at
yeah.
that.
That's
cool.
wonderful.
So I thought this was straight up a novel when I got it, and then like I knew Bernie Wrightson. I was like, Bernie Wrightson worked on it, but like, and then it's just like haunting chapter pages from Wrightson. Just very simple scenery stuff. Flux Capnos. So this was very cheap on Amazon. I got it at the same time I got Ricky's book, and oh god, look at this! And there's just some color, man.
Wow.
Just a legend. So I'm really excited. This is my vacation, but I'm going on vacation in a couple weeks with the family to Lake George, New York. So this is what I will be reading.
Nice.
It's easier to travel than a comic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah. Very cheap on Amazon, guys. Go buy Ricky's book and this. Marc Spector Comics. We're going to the Golden Age, you said?
Yeah, going right into the Golden Age for the last two. I'm going to show the oldest book first, but it's not relatively old. It's from the early 50s. Going to DC. A character that later became a DC character. Very, I'd say, underappreciated character in DC. And this is from Quality Comics from 1952. And this is Black Hawk issue number 50. And I picked this up just because it's a really cool shark cover.
Heck yeah.
And it actually is the first appearance of Killer Shark, which is actually one of the more prominent nemesis villains of Black Hawk.
Wow.
And just a really cool cover. You see here one of the villain pilots that ride in Killer Shark that tries to, kill Black Hawk in the series and the rest of the characters that are associated with the Black Hawk team. And it was a fun read as well. I believe it was Reed Crandall artwork in here as well. So really fun cover.
I just love the utter terror on his face.
Yeah, look at that.
Jeez.
It's really cool.
And Black Hawk had a lot of really good covers back then, and a lot of risque covers that you would never ever see on a comic book today.
Yeah, it's a really fun cover.
I'm so glad you brought us into the Golden Age. I didn't bring any Golden Age to show tonight, but that's great. Freaking awesome. Obito. We're getting the last two books, man. You've been heating up.
I've been heating up. Now this one, we're going back to the Silver Age. And this is a big deal book for me. This is my favorite book I have, period, right now. This is the first appearance of my favorite comic book villain of all time across DC, Marvel, anything. My favorite. And I've been eyeing this book since I started collecting, and I'm finally holding it. I'm talking Green Lantern 16.
Nice.
First appearance of Star Sapphire.
Wonderful. That's amazing.
That's cool.
Very nice.
Unreal.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's fantastic. That's awesome.
Yeah.
This was not cheap. This was my big purchase of the year. One of them. I got eyes on other things, but I paid like $300 on this.
At a 4.0, that book looks absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's really that bugs me is there's this date stamp that's right on the.
Oh, we love date stamps.
Yeah.
Come on. That's
great.
Yeah.
I love a date stamp.
That brings it charm. You know what I mean? I just wish it wasn't right on the logo. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's just I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I know for a lot of people, oh, it's just another book. But for me, this is worth billions.
That's a big book.
Dude, that's a big book.
Yeah.
For an 18-year-old to have the taste to get that book and save up for it, I fully support where you're going with it. Well done. Okay, we're gonna go back. We're fifth and final round. Let's do the giveaway. I said #heroes. I'm gonna try to screen share, guys. I am not tech savvy, so bear with me, folks.
Even though I'm on the show, can I type in #heroes?
Yes, please do. Please do.
I'll do the
Please
same.
do.
I'm doing it.
Yes,
That's what I'm doing right now too. So.
everyone, feel free. Let's share the screen.
I actually
There.
did it accidentally on our channel name. Disregard that one. Do not allow
That's
that one to win.
wonderful.
Oh no, well, you guys will set. You get 2 and 2.
Yeah, there you go. Just leave it there then.
There.
There you go, Tim.
Hashtag heroes. I'm in.
All right, we got 8 entries. Let's draw. Let's see who's gonna take away.
Oh, no.
Comic
Cool books.
evolution. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey! Hey!
Oh no. No. Do it again. That's not
Do it
fair.
again. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
okay.
not gonna
Double
take those
finger
books.
cross.
All right.
No.
All right. You're very kind of you.
Not gonna do it.
We're just adding extra names in there.
They redrew Tim Morse.
Oh my
I
god.
will take those books 100%. Thank
Yeah,
you,
you will.
very much. I'm Brandon. Thank you so much for choosing me for this giveaway. I absolutely love it. I couldn't have asked for a better thing.
Oh,
Go ahead
my
and spin it again. I don't mind.
No, that was good. I got you. You're in.
Right on.
We did it. I do a giveaway every month. If people come back in the chat to the Big Five Live every month, we
Ladies and gentlemen, it pays to be on Brandon's show and win the giveaway.
Exactly.
all right. That was funny. That's great.
That's
Oh
wonderful.
my god.
All right, let's go. We're gonna go with we're gonna start the final round. Marc Spector Comics. David,
Oh, okay.
Let's have you start the final round, man.
All right, so this has been a book in the title that I've been looking for quite some time. It probably took me several years to find the right copy. And this is my favorite character in the Golden Age.
There you go.
I ended up getting this in a local comic shop in Massachusetts. The guy came in, ended up getting a big collection of Golden Age and Silver Age, and he had this on the wall. And I asked him what he was, selling it for, and he had it for $50. I was like, "Are you sure this is $50?" I was like, "Yeah." So I ended up picking this up, and I was shocked. But this is Submariner,
Oh,
issue number 37, $50. I still got the
Oh
little
my
sticker.
gosh.
Still got the little sticker on it. $50. This is from 1954, right at towards the end of the series. This is an Atlas book, so it was a timely Atlas. Submariner number 37. It has really good eye appeal.
That
See
yellow.
name art, and I love Golden Age. Yellow covers are just fantastic. I love the
Oh,
trade
yeah.
dress, the way it's designed. And you see Namor fighting some commies in there, so it's really cool. And you got the big ship there in the background. Has everything you need.
Wow.
It's
That's wonderful.
Bill Everett's story, Joe Maneely cover.
Joe Maneely, Stan
Yeah.
Lee's golden child before he passed away.
So just I was stoked when I picked that up. So
50
That's one of
bucks.
those books you just cannot pass up for the price.
no, absolutely not.
No.
I was like, wow, I couldn't
No,
believe it.
it could have the worst character that you hate the most, and at $50,
Yeah.
you're still gonna buy it.
I gotta get that. Sorry.
My comic shop has a 1.8 CBC
Wow.
going for $650.
Oof.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'll give you 100 right now. That's great.
and then I'll never be able to find another one again.
I know.
Mm.
We were talking Schomburg
right.
earlier.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like his timely work. Like once you
jeez.
get one of those, like you automatically want another. Or you and I were talking on Instagram. Like once you get one, you got that Thrilling Comics. And you taught me how he signed his name if he didn't sign Alex Schomburg.
Yeah. Yep.
How
that was
does
his
how
like
did it-
alter ego. He would sign it Zella, Xela, which was just his name, Alex spelled backwards.
Wow.
So yeah, typically you'd see it just Schomburg on most of his covers, but then there would be a select amount of covers that he did that he would just sign it as Zella. I didn't bring the book with me; it's back in Rhode Island. But yeah, some of those for the longest time, I was looking for some of the earlier Submariner comics, like the issues in the teens and stuff like that, where he has those classic World War II covers and stuff like that. But some of those books, you're talking like well over $1,000 for like a lower grade, and I came close once to getting a issue 13 or 12, which was another classic Schomburg cover. But the deal, I couldn't. That was at Terrificon a few years back, but I couldn't make the deal. So when I was able to pick this book up at the local comic shop for $50, I was shocked. I was I was floored.
Is it weird that I like Golden Age Submariner's look more than I like
Silver
Age?
Yeah,
it looks more nefarious.
Absolutely.
He's got a nice widow's peak going.
Yes. His eyebrows.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Wow.
Yeah,
I think you just won best deal I've ever had on this show.
Yeah, that's nuts.
To pick up a $50 Golden Age book. Thank you for sharing that with us. Wes, what are you going to follow that with? Did you get an AF-15 for $10?
Yeah, no, I did not. But I did get this book in a collection that I did pretty well on. I buy collections often. That's kind of how I collect mostly. I mean, I buy single issues too, don't get me wrong, but this was one of the very first collections I ever bought, or this is from one of the very first collections I ever bought when I first got back into collecting. And this was inside it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
nice.
remember this book.
Iron Man #1. It's 7.5. It was not graded. Obviously, I sent it off to get graded. This had a few bangers in it. This collection. This one was my favorite book out of that collection. And since it was one of my first collections that I ever bought, it for the longest time, this was like the most valuable book I owned for the longest time. Yeah. So because of it, I loved it a lot, and I still do. It's still one of my favorite. And boy, that cover in a 7.5, it just pops. It is just wonderful. It's wonderful.
Did you know it was in the collection when you bought it, or did you discover it later?
I knew it was in it when I bought it. I didn't know it was in it when I went to go get it. The lady reached out to me actually through Marketplace, and I said, "Hey, send me some pictures," because she lived about an hour away. I said, "Hey, send me some photos, kind of, so I kind of know what I'm getting into, and then we'll meet up and things like that." And she sent me some photos, and they were not great. You couldn't really tell. I saw some Silver Age stuff in there, but the photos were horrible. So I was like, well, I'll meet her. And she wasn't wanting a whole lot for the collection. And I think she only wanted about $300 for everything. So I met her. I didn't know it was in it at the time yet. So I was like, well, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
So I get up there and I start looking through it. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, I said, I got to stop. I said, and then I had a moment of, am I going to be a bad, a super villain, or am I going to be a superhero here? And I chose superhero-ish. So I was honest. I said, this book right here, and it was the Iron Man. I said, this is worth more than you're asking for everything. I said, I have to be honest with you. And she goes, oh, really? And I'm saying, yeah, there's a few in here that are pretty good. And I pulled out a couple more that had some value to them. One was a Miracle Man #1 that came back as an 8.5. There's not a lot of value in that, but it was a beautiful book. It looked like a reprint. It was so nice. Yeah. Tim saw that one.
Oh, yeah.
And so I offered her an extra $300 on top of that. So basically, I gave her the fair market value for the Iron Man raw, and she was like, yes, I'll take it. I said, that's it. The only reason I offered that was because that's actually all the cash I had on me. And I expected her to say no after I told her everything else, but I guess
could have gone either way.
She wanted to get rid of them. I offered an extra I think it was $300 for everything, an extra $300, so I paid about $600 for everything. That's
extremely fair. And
I think it was. I drove off like going like, dang it. But at the same time, and I've actually tried to continue to do that. And it has paid off in spades, because I have people calling me back and, hey, this guy buys collections and he pays a fair price. So I'm getting random. So now I have to answer random phone calls, and it's almost always, somebody trying to sell something. But, I don't usually just send my phone to, voicemail anymore, because now it's like, well, and because sometimes it is somebody reaching out because somebody told them about me. And Tim, Tim's seen my office and my garage. It is now full of long boxes of crap I've just bought over the years. But that was that book right there. Sorry, I'm rambling on. That book was the best book in the very first real collection I ever bought. So it really holds a special place for me.
Comic karma is a thing.
Yeah, it is.
absolutely.
It is, and I learned that through a lot of YouTube guys around here. That we're basically teaching that lesson.
Mhm.
There's a few lessons I learned on YouTube, and that was one of them: is to be a fair guy. And then I take the rest of it and make it pay for my addiction, and I keep the stuff that I want. And it's worked out so far.
Yep.
Well done. Good story, and yes, good lesson. Everyone, you got to be the hero. You can't be the birth of a supervillain there.
Almost one way or the other.
Dude, I waffled a bit. I was like, oh my God.
I remember when you got that book. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you sent me a picture and you're like, look what I just got. Oh my God.
Right.
Okay. So my last book is a signed book that I got at a thrift store here in town. The guy that's there, he's moving out of the booth. So he's not going to have his booth there anymore. But he had some pretty decent stuff, had really good stuff. And you could always find deals. I found a bunch of McFarlane self-titled Spider-Man for $1. Some of them were newsstand. Couldn't pass up on that. So I grabbed those. But this he had in his little display case for $30. It says it was signed at New York Comic Con in 2024. This is X-Men #9, signed by Jim Lee.
Nice.
You can't go wrong with Jim Lee, man.
No,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Probably my second favorite comic book artist of all time.
$30. I couldn't pass it up. That's a great price for a great book. It's
They're charging a lot more than that at Terrificon, I'll tell you that.
his signature alone at Baltimore last year was $60 a pop. So yes, I will take that.
Yep.
But,
well done.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
Thank you.
All right, I should have brought a signed book. All right, my last book of the night. I'm going back to this to Silver Age, early Silver Age. Everyone knows I've been collecting these hardcore, but Strange Tales,
Nice.
issue 90.
That's awesome.
I now have issues 88, 89, and 90.
I love that.
I'm not planning on getting around, but it's cool to have it. It's a great Kirby cover, and it's like a service cover. I really wanted this one because Orgo was in a more recent comic, Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D., where Dum Dum Dugan leads the team, and it's all supernatural characters. So it's like Orgo and Man-Thing.
Wow.
And who else is in there? Mamphibian. There's some really great obscure characters in there, and it's a really fun read. I highly recommend it. It's like a 5-part series, and like the very first issue, they're getting their butts kicked. It's like zombie virus is taking over, and the heroes are getting their butts kicked, and like Dugan's like, we gotta code green. And he's like, should we drop him in? And like any other time you hear that, you think it was the Hulk, but they're talking about the Man-Thing.
Wow.
And they drop Ted in, and it's freaking epic, and he just cleans up. And so Orgo has a special place in my heart. And I got this from Alex the Comic Hoarder on YouTube. He has some
nice.
He has some
Nice.
great. He is probably one of the most fair and best grade, like knows how to grade his books as far as like what he sells them for. Like he gives amazing deals. So like he picked up a huge collection of these. He graded this at like a 3.0 and he asked $40. Now $40 for any, like that's cheap for any of these old pre-hero monster books. And Alex is very fair. And so I bought a couple books off him, but man, just love my mind. Like that's just such, I wonder who, like if Kirby was like, I'm just gonna leave the eyes blank.
Wow.
Screw it, you know? Like
he ran out of time.
Yeah, but thanks to Alex the Comic Hoarder for that. Alex, another great YouTuber. Love watching his stuff as well.
That's awesome.
All right, Obito. We started with you. We're gonna end with you, buddy.
We're ending with you. I don't know if I can follow up all the stuff y'all guys got, but this is a pretty nice one here.
You've done all right tonight. You've done all right
you've got some
tonight.
great books. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool too, but I think because of the grade, it's more of a thing I would appreciate more than other people. So I got this 2 days ago, and I wish I got my reaction on video because I'm gonna make a video about this probably tomorrow. I wish I could have got my reaction on video because I was like literally so elated and like so excited. I was like jumping for joy because I mean, like I never imagined myself holding this book ever. You know what I mean? And I'm talking Batman Adventures 12.
Oh my
God.
Nice. There you go.
First looking at the Harley Quinn.
There it is.
Obito, we
Dude.
love numbers with points in between each of them. That's fantastic.
Right. Look, it's only a 2.0, but you know what they say in the comic book community: low grade is better than no grade. Right?
There
You own
100%.
it. You own it.
Yeah.
That's
And for it to be in a
wonderful.
newsstand on top of that, that's
It
yeah.
looks great from here. It looks great from my house.
I don't
Yeah.
agree.
I know, you couldn't tell it's a 2.0. Jeez.
I don't agree with it at all. I don't know how.
wild.
This looks more like a 4 to me, honestly. I mean, obviously, fine.
Do I smell a crack and repress and
A little
regrade?
CPR, yeah.
I'm not that ambitious. I'm happy with
Well,
yeah.
well, Brandon, we know a guy who's a magician when it comes to that stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff.
Maybe
from Comic Spot.
when I'm more bold in the future.
Jeff from Comic Spot, but he is backed up. There's a new presser I've been using. Matt from Comics, who has a YouTube channel. He's kind of been like under Jeff's tutelage, and Jeff like pretty much they talk on the phone all the time. He's going to go up and meet Jeff to learn about doing ozone chambers and aqueous baths and stuff.
Wow.
But like Jeff has pretty much started, like, because Jeff has booked out 2 years, he started referring clients that don't want to wait.
Yeah. Jeff works miracles.
He does. A
I'll be
book
in my
that John Bigday.
He's got a free spot available.
Yeah. Awesome. Go sub up. Yeah, guys, go sub all these wonderful channels. They're all great people. That was a great way to last book you did.
Yeah,
Gavin,
that's
you
fantastic.
Heck yeah.
18-year-old Gavin, everyone, picking up the good stuff.
He's
man.
picking out the hammers tonight. My lord.
This is his collection at 18. I bet all of us could say we wish we had started at 18 picking up books like that.
Easy with those pythons, buddy. I mean, come on.
I know.
Books are huge.
What's up, Casino Comics? What's going on, buddy? Listen, before we end the show, I like to again thank everyone in the chat for coming and hanging out, and of course my esteemed panel members for giving time on a Friday night to sit down and talk comics, kind of scratch that itch. Please go sub up all these channel guys. I highly suggest it. You won't be disappointed. Just look at the books they showed tonight. They were absolutely awesome, and they span the gambit of Marvel, DC, Silver Age, Golden Age, Modern. We saw it all tonight. Obito, what do you got planned for your channel? What's coming up, man?
What I got planned for my channel, just, the regular, comic unboxing, hauls, maybe going through some shows and stuff. I do want to start a brand new series on my channel, which it's going to be a lot of work. But I'm trying to get in contact with Mike at Lunch Money, because I'm trying to do a documentary about the history of his channel with like a lot of fancy editing and whatnot, because I like to watch documentaries. So.
And would you continue that with other creators too if you did that one well enough?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about other people. Like if I could get Comic Tom or like Mint Hunter Comics or like some of the bigger people, that would be cool. And like have it be like a little series,
Very cool.
Yeah, it'd be very time consuming because I want it to be good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got planned for right now.
I like it. So go.
I like that idea.
Go sub Obito. Marc Spector Comics, what do you got coming up on your channel? You just dropped out that Thrilling Comics the other day. That was great.
Yeah. Feel free to check that out if you guys have some time. I'm trying to stay disciplined in my collecting, trying to buy just one book a month, like one purchase. Nothing, whether it be like a $10 book or several $100 book, whatever.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Once in a while, I'll pick up a new comic book just to read and stay recent to see what's going on. But I'm trying to stay disciplined in getting one book a month. I'm hoping that there's a show coming up later on this month in Providence, so that maybe I could pick up something there, but it doesn't seem likely that it's going to happen, which is unfortunate. But I'm always still looking out there to see what's available. So content comes and goes depending on time and availability. So once in a while, I'll throw some shorts and stuff like that on the channel just for, some fun content and stuff like that. I'm going to drop what I picked up this week for New Comic Book Day. Went to this comic shop right before I came on tonight to a local shop here to just pick up some random stuff. But that's really it. I just try to put some content when I can.
Awesome. Hey, you know what? That you just said the key words, when you can. That's what it boils down to. Then Tim and Wes, I'll leave it like this. Tell me what you guys got coming on Comic Evolution.
Wes, go right ahead, man.
Well, next week we're going to a convention we'll be setting up. It's the Volunteer Valley Comic Con. It's a very small show. I think it's the first year they've ever done it. And we're not there really. I mean, we'll have our booth and we'll be selling some things to make up for, our table costs and things like that. But mostly we're treating it as like a 3-day long commercial for Comic Evolution. But we're going to continue to put out content like on the boots on the ground hunting comics, and we're doing 2 or 3 shorts a week. We have our flagship show, which is kind of untitled, I guess, but it's just a show that we do every couple of weeks about trending comics, cool things we've picked up, things to look out for, things like that. We do that. We have that show as well. But a lot of just long form stuff. Like when I go out and buy a collection, we'll go, we'll do content, or when Tim and I go out to like a flea market and do some hunting. We love watching hunting videos. So I was like, yeah, we should definitely do some of those. And we've got some of that on our channel. So please go check that stuff out. Tim, have I missed anything?
Yeah, just to shore up, we've got the shorts that come out every week. We've got Crack the Pack on Mondays, which we're opening either Pokemon packs or comic book related packs, things like that. Yeah, we've got Comic of the Day that is 3 times a week. Always something different, from Marvel, DC to indie, modern, all the way back to Golden Age. Lots of cool stuff there. The long form content, like Wes said, we've got our flagship show, and we've got the hunting videos and things of that nature. All kinds of cool stuff, guys, and we are just getting started. So as Wes always says, get in on the ground floor.
There you go, guys. I love it. I love it. Yes, chat. Anyone watching this on the rerun, go sub these channels up. I put all the links to their channels down below, and you go check them out. Thanks again to the chat, and thanks again to my panel for joining me for the 21st episode of the Big 5 Live. And we're going to go hang out backstage. The rest of you guys have a great, safe weekend. Stevie D, sorry, we're just ending. Watch it on the rerun, brother. Some great books were shown. Everyone at Heroes Con, have fun, be safe, and spend as much money as you can. That's what I think.